In a quiet little village nestled between rolling hills and meandering streams, there lived an old woman who seemed to carry sunshine wherever she went. Her name was whispered with fondness by young and old alike, for she was known not just for her wisdom, but for her unwavering happiness. No matter what the day brought, be it rain or shine, fortune or hardship, her smile never faded. It was a smile that could soften the hardest day and bring comfort to weary hearts. People from all corners of the village would find their way to her humble cottage. Some came seeking advice, others simply to bask in the peaceful warmth that seemed to radiate from her. For many, just sitting in her presence was enough to feel lighter, as if the burdens they carried grew a little less heavy. One crisp morning, a young man from the village, troubled by a string of recent misfortunes, gathered his courage and approached the old woman. The question that had been burning inside him finally spilled out. "Grandma, how is it that you are always so happy? Even when things go wrong, you never seem sad. Don't you ever feel down?" Quote. The woman's eyes twinkled with understanding. She took a slow, thoughtful breath and replied, "My dear, life is a tapestry woven with both joy and sorrow. Some days bring sunshine, others bring storms. But I learned, over many years, that true happiness doesn't come from what's happening around you. It grows from within your own heart." The young man looked puzzled, unable to grasp the secret behind her joy. Sensing his confusion, the old woman began to share her story. "When I was young, I had a loving family, my husband and our children. We didn't have much, but we had each other. That was enough to make life beautiful. But then, my husband fell gravely ill. We had little money, and despite everything we tried, he passed away. I was left alone with my children, lost in grief. For days and weeks, I could not find my way out of the darkness." Her voice softened. "But as time went on, I realized that my sorrow, as deep as it was, would not bring him back. Yet my children needed me. I had to choose whether to let pain steal the rest of my life, or to honor his memory by living fully. So I made a choice. I decided to look for joy, even in the smallest of things." The young man listened, deeply moved, and asked, "But how did you manage to be happy again?" Quote. She smiled gently. "Every morning, I wake and remind myself, today is a gift. I search for one reason to smile, a blooming flower, the laughter of a child, the warmth of sunlight on my face. Some days, it's hard. But there is always something, if you truly look." He pressed further, "But what about the truly hard days?" Quote. The old woman nodded, her eyes reflecting years of wisdom. "On those days, I remind myself that pain is temporary. I hold on to the little things that give me strength, a friend's kind word, my health, or even just the simple act of breathing. I trust that the storm will pass, as all storms do." She looked at him earnestly and said, "Happiness is a choice. You can dwell on what is wrong, or you can choose to see what is still right. It's not always easy, but it is always possible." The young man left her cottage changed, carrying her words like a lantern through the shadows of his own struggles. Day by day, he tried to find the good, no matter how small. He smiled more, worried less, and discovered hope even on his hardest days. Soon, others noticed the change in him, and the old woman's wisdom began to ripple through the village. Gradually, the village became a little brighter, not because life was suddenly easier, but because more and more people chose to see the beauty in each day. And so, the lesson remains. No matter how hard life becomes, there is always something to be grateful for. Even in darkness, you can find light, if you choose to look for it. True happiness is not about having everything, it's about appreciating the little things and choosing to smile, even when the world feels heavy.